What is your American dream?
My American dreams at this moment is living the blissful aspect of knowing that I could be free of my detachments. If I could detach anything that is creating pain, and that this country has allowed me to become the best version of me, I think that is called the American dream for me.
The American dream too is about realization. The most important thing in my life is to find my home. I'm so grateful to be living in America, and it's such an experience for me. To connect with my soul is the way that I'm living my American dream.
Living the American dream in the wildest dream. Who would I ever thought that I was going to live in New York City, having these amazing choices and possibilities? America has been the best gift I ever had, because it has allowed me to become the best version of who I am.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Happy FriYay, everybody. My name is Brad Bernstein. It is FriYay. I am joined, as always, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and FriYay with Yonathan, Yo-Yo, Elias and Vanessa, Ness-Quick, Contreras. How are you?
Yeah. Everything is good. I'm happy it's FriYay.
I'm happy it's FriYay, too.
Yeah. Same. We had good weather today.
It was
too. Took a little stroll.
It was beautiful weather here in New York City. And Yonathan, in your neck of the woods, how was the weather?
Really nice, like 70 degrees. I'm a little nervous. I don't know what to.
Right.
Like why is it like
the
that?
weather happening?
You think there's a problem with the weather and something's going to happen?
I don't know. 70 degrees is kind of wild for this time of the year.
It is. Well, it's called global warming, global weirding, all sorts of global weather change. But it looks like, and we'll talk about it in a few minutes, looks like Joe Biden is going to be the president. It's only a matter of time, not if, but when at this point. But let's say hello in the meantime to the squad. Jessica Leamy, squad up. Dion Watson, squad up. How are you? Dip Fab Cake Affair, squad up. How are you? Roxanne Baptiste, Simone Garraway. Who else we got here? Linda Shaw and Yuli Victoria. I see you watching. Princess Dyer, how are you? On YouTube, Island Gal, Nurse HDZ, squad up. Max Taylor, squad up. How are you? And show 'em in with a question. I am sure the team will get that to me shortly. In the meantime, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, we're popping up.
You're popping up.
We're popping up on Friday. You never know when we're going to pop up, right?
Never know.
Right?
Well, you can know if you do certain things.
Like what?
And we'll let you know.
Pray tell. Excuse me. I am stuttering my words on a Friday. Like what should they do, pray tell?
Listen, if all you have to do is click on the bell notification on either Facebook or YouTube. You could even do it on.
What would happen if you would actually do that?
If you do that, it literally will send you a notification to your phone that we are.
So you get a notification. Oh, you get that we come live. That's why we do our pop-ups. You never know.
There you go.
You never know when it's going to happen, right? Pop quiz. And Vanessa, do you subscribe to YouTube and Facebook? So like when we go live, it pops up, right? What happens on your phone?
On multiple emails.
It pops up all over the place.
I get a notification and it lets me know that it is time to catch Brad, Yo-Yo, and Ness-Quick and find out about some immigration.
All right. Yes. So there you have it. You want FriYay Bradshaw Live? If you don't subscribe, you won't get notified, right?
Ooh, I like that.
You like that? If you don't subscribe, you won't.
Subscribe, you won't get notified.
It's like if the glove don't fit, then you must have quit. It's just like the same thing, right? It's our new version of the glove don't fit, you must have quit. If you don't subscribe, you don't get notified.
Get notified.
Right. All right. What else we got to tell anybody? Any other instructions?
Yeah, absolutely. So anybody on all social media platforms, I need you guys all to first, please join the Brad Squad on VIP. It's the VIP page on Facebook. It's so simple. Just put in the Brad Squad on Facebook. A lot of people yesterday were saying that they did not get their questions answered. I told you we cannot get to every single social media question. It is so simple. So now I'm thinking that you're not listening to me. So what I'm going to need you to do, and I'm going to say this one time like this, you just go to the search engine, put in Brad Squad on Facebook. You got to put it on Facebook. It is a VIP page. It is not the same page that you're watching the show on right now. Nobody could ever say we're not answering your questions because we don't even get the first 5 questions from the VIP page every single day. All right. Sometimes we only have 2 or 3. So you can put your questions in whatever time throughout any day, and then we will ask those.
I'm going to tell you something that blows my mind. That people complain. People complain all the time that we didn't get to answer their question. Is a very simple way to do it. Just join the VIP Brad Squad on Facebook. Leave your question there. Guaranteed to be asked.
Yeah, it's crazy. So like now I'm. Wait, what was that?
What?
Oh my God, y'all are wild. So please,
I cannot.
It's simple, all right? So there's no excuses. Don't tag me and say you didn't read my question if you didn't join the page, all right? So now on Facebook, I need you guys all to please share. This is FriYay. It's a pop-up, so let everybody know. For the people who didn't click the little bell notification, for those people, we got to share for them so they know that we're going on live right now. So make sure you share to anybody's page, share it to an inbox. You can copy the link, send it in the text message blast. All right.
I think like people, you don't have an excuse anymore. If you join Brad Squad VIP on Facebook, you're guaranteed to have your questions answered, Yo-Yo and Vanessa. I think if people complain, we're going to start coming up with our own Brad Show Live excuses, like the dog ate it. There you go. I got mugged on the way to the studio. I lost your question. I mean, we have lots of excuses too, right?
It's in the iCloud air.
Right? Yes, it's in the iCloud air.
We lost it in the cloud.
Yeah,
we lost it in the cloud.
Got stuck in a filter. I don't know what filter, but some filter got stuck in.
Groundhog Sam.
Right? People want excuses. We got excuses too.
Exactly. So none. So nobody could ever tag us and say, hey, you did not read my question, and I find out that you weren't a VIP member on the Brad Squad page on Facebook. There you go. Now, Ness-Quick, what are we going to do on YouTube?
Well, I hope you guys know I'm not coming easy at you. On YouTube, you should already be subscribed to the channel. And like we said, make sure that you turn on the notification bell so you get notified, especially on Fridays when we tune in through our pop-up. And you also want to know when Brad Show is live, so you can go ahead and you already guessed it, share it. So it's so important that you guys share this live stream right now, especially when we pop up on Fridays, because we always say it again and again. We're helping so many people. We've helped so many of you on the squad. So let's keep growing the squad and helping as many people as we can. And the one way that you can help through this show is to share. Copy the link, send it through a direct text message, send it in a WhatsApp group. Let people know that Brad Show is live right now and that we will be answering immigration questions. We also need those thumbs up, because not only are we doing our best to answer as many of your questions as we can, but we need to know that you actually like what you're seeing here. And by giving us the thumbs up, it lets YouTube know that we're doing great work, and it'll help us keep growing our page more and more. And that's a way for you to just let the Brad Show know that you love what's going on here. So give us those thumbs up, because we really, really need it day in and day out. So I'll be on YouTube checking in on that. Make sure that you leave your comments in the comment section, and you guys can always find us on Instagram as well. If you can't catch a full 2-hour show, we have the best snippets of our show on Instagram at Brad Show Live. So make sure you follow us there, where every now and again there's different contests and games, and you don't want to miss it. And like I said, if you can't catch a full hour, you can catch our best snippets there. So make sure that you tune in on Instagram. But right now, make sure you share, because we're getting started with some schmoozing.
All right, well, it's Friday, and we still don't know who the president's going to be come January, but all signs are pointing, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, to Joe Biden being the president, Kamala Harris being the vice president. of the United States. Joe Biden has pulled ahead in Georgia. The last time a Democrat won Georgia,
Wow.
1992, Bill Clinton.
Wow. Bill Clinton?
Yeah, he has pulled ahead overnight in Pennsylvania. The votes that still need to be counted in Pennsylvania, all from the Bucks County or the Philadelphia area, mostly
that's all Biden.
leaning Biden Democrat. Trump is going to sue. If Biden is declared the winner of Pennsylvania, Biden is the president of the United States. If Biden continues to hold his lead in Arizona and Nevada, he will be the president of the United States. If he wins Georgia and either Arizona or Nevada or Pennsylvania, or he is the president of the United States, there's so many different ways he ends up being the president of the United States, and he's in the lead in all of these states at the moment. And the only thing Trump can do is ask for a recount. And, maybe, and really, I would be a little worried on a recount if Biden wins any state less than 10,000 people, because you never know. Okay.
Right.
But I think at around 10,000 people, if the spread in Pennsylvania is 10,000 plus, the spread in Arizona and Nevada is 10,000 plus, the spread in Georgia is 10,000 plus, there's no way that they've made an error counting 10,000 ballots.
Right.
No freaking way. So unless all of these states come down to like 50 or 100 votes, Biden's the president. And right now, all indications are that Biden is going to win Pennsylvania by more than 10,000. He's ahead in Nevada and Arizona by more than 10,000. It's much closer in Georgia, but they don't need Georgia right now if Nevada, Arizona, and certainly Pennsylvania holds up. So we'll see what happens. Biden said he is going to address the nation tonight. However, he tampered down expectations by saying, if there's something to talk about tonight, I'll talk about it. If not, I'm going to wait till all the votes are counted the next day. He continued, things are happening. They're boding well for the base that has been supporting me, but we'll see. We will see. This
is a dream.
Yeah, and by the way, everybody in Georgia, you know who they're thanking for for the close race? Stacey Abrams. That is correct.
Yes, I've been posting about her because of this.
Yeah, she ran unsuccessfully for governor. And the allegations that she made, which are probably true, I don't know enough about the internal workings of Georgia state politics, but from what I read was that there was a lot of voter suppression especially in the Black and minority communities. And as a result, she lost the governorship in 2018 by about 1.5%. And what she said is the best way to beat voter suppression is get as many people registered and out to vote. So even if they suppress some of those votes, we just overwhelm them with more and more votes. And you know what she did in Georgia between 2018 and 2020? Her organization, which is called the New Georgia Project, it was funded to combat voter suppression. And what they did in Georgia was they were able to register 100,000 people, presumably mostly Democrats, to vote in this election that were otherwise would not have voted. And but for this voter drive by Stacey Abrams and her fabulous organization, Biden would not have even been close in Georgia. She was considered even as a potential running mate. I am sure she will also be considered for something in the cabinet, I would presume, because Biden is definitely going to have to reward her with something. So we will see what happens there. But everybody, go ahead.
I heard that she raised $32 million and got about 800,000 people, voters, to register.
In Georgia, it was 100,000 just in the state of Georgia. Maybe 800,000 nationwide. But in the state of Georgia, I read it was 100,000 people that came out to vote presumably voted Democrat because of Stacey Abrams. And yes,
See, this is why it's
yeah, go ahead, Vanessa.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's just that it's important. I think it's important for parties to collaborate, right? Even though, of course, when she starts this initiative, it's for her sake also. But if she hadn't gone ahead and created this notion just to raise more awareness and for people to understand where the Democratic Party is coming from, who knows where Georgia would have been?
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's very interesting who voted for whom and where. Kind of the irony of Trump's loss or potential loss of his presidency is that he lost Michigan, which he won in 2016, and Joe Biden needed Michigan to ultimately, if he prevails in Arizona and Pennsylvania, he definitely needed Michigan to also prevail. Michigan has already been called for Joe Biden, but the irony of Joe Biden winning in Michigan is that it is emerging that the Muslim community in Michigan, which people estimate consisted of approximately 81,000 votes, all mostly voted for Joe Biden. The Muslim community makes up 270,000 people in the Michigan, in the state of Michigan, nearly 2.75% of the population. And what's the irony there is that Trump said he was going to make America great again, and he felt that by making a Muslim ban and by scapegoating every person in this religion as being a bad person, what he did ultimately was he thought that was a winning argument. But what happened was he lost the state of Michigan. And as it turns out, it's Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, assuming Biden wins Pennsylvania, that propels Biden to the presidency. Perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps if there was no Muslim ban, there was no hysteria by Trump towards Muslim people in general. He didn't scapegoat every person of the Muslim religion as a bad human being. Maybe Michigan would have turned out different because it was very, very close. Very, very close.
If he was more of a human, it could have been something that worked in his favor. So.
Yeah. What's also interesting is that Asian Americans voted primarily for Joe Biden. The Los Angeles Times editor Sewell Chan tweeted, "Looks like Asian Americans, small but fast-growing share of the electorate, broke about 70% for Biden, continuing a shift that began in the 1990s. And as a matter of fact, now Asian Americans are more Democratic than Latinos." Latinos, and Vanessa, you could probably tell us more than anybody, depending on where, it's wrong to just lump Latinos as Latinos. Because depending on where you are from, Latin America is huge. It's Central America, it's South America, parts of the Caribbean. Depending on where you're from and what your history of your area is politically will depend a lot on where you lean. Most people would think that because of what Trump was doing with the Hondurans and the Nicaraguans and calling Mexicans rapists and, preventing Hondurans and Guatemalans and Nicaraguans from applying for asylum and the family separations of the Central Americans, that all the Latinos would have voted for Joe Biden. But in fact, Donald Trump lost Joe Biden lost two huge states, Florida and Texas, because the Latino vote broke for Trump.
It's wild.
And the presumption was that the Latino vote would have broken for Biden. Broke meaning they voted for Trump over Biden. Now, in Arizona, Latinos have a different experience because they have, Sheriff Joe there, Arpaio, who became infamous for severe immigration enforcements. But in Miami, for example, You know, Miami's made up of Cubans and Venezuelans, a lot of Latinos there. And they come from a history and a government of communism and socialism. And as soon as they hear communists and socialists, they ran from that. They don't want to vote for that here in America.
Right.
So, you know, it's very interesting that, you know, if there was an error by the Democrats, that they presumed that Latinos would automatically vote for them, and they didn't. And Vanessa, you're obviously Latina. You're in the community. I'm sure you have a lot to say on this.
I've seen a lot of different things, and I've heard a lot of different things from a lot of Latinos. And something that came up a lot was, you know, policy over personality is what a lot of some of the Latinos that have voted Trump, which boggles my mind, right? Because there's a lot of first generation Latinos, and then there's immigrant Latinos like myself that feel very strongly about immigration and policy. And it's just like blows my mind how even for first generation, it's like, you know, your parents were immigrants and now we're supporting, no matter if you're first generation and now you're making a decent living, right? Because that's another thing too. There's plenty of Latinos that have done very well things for themselves and want to protect their money, I guess. Like that, a lot of the different excuses that they're using, but I just don't find any justifiable reason to vote for Trump. That's my personal opinion, but like we see throughout the map, it depends on location, upbringing, community.
Donald Trump,
and it's been really intense to be Latina at this time, to be honest.
Donald Trump and the Republicans spent an enormous amount of money on Spanish radio and Spanish television in Southern Florida and Texas, painting Joe Biden as a socialist, saying he's a socialist. Wow. He's going to take your money, you know. And people are first. A lot of people there are first generation, or immigrated, escaped communism in Cuba, escaped socialism in Venezuela. They don't want to go back to that, especially now when they're being successful in America. And they're painting Biden as being a socialist. And I think personally, the reason why the Democrats, I'll give you my opinion, the reason why the Democrats do not right now have a majority in the Senate, they may if they win both Senate races in Georgia, and the reason why this race was as close as it was, it really shouldn't have been, was for one reason. It was because Trump was successful in painting Joe Biden, who is in essence a moderate. He's a centrist. They were successful in painting Joe Biden as being a very progressive, very left, socialist. Biden's going to defund police. Defund police scares a lot of people, even in minority communities, because they say, well, you know, how do you have no police? It'll be anarchy. Yeah. And I think the Democrats, and certainly in middle class communities, I think the Democrats missed an opportunity there just because they used the wrong, they were promoting the wrong words, in my opinion. Okay? I don't think there's many people who feel there should be no police. I mean, there are people out there who absolutely say no police.
No, that's crazy.
That's crazy. But when you hear the word defund police, defund police to people means no police, zero police. And the Democrats and certainly the progressives, they used very bad language that was used against them to scare people, to paint Joe Biden as being very progressive, very left, socialist, communist, when he's really a centrist. He's really a centrist. And maybe instead of, and I've been saying this for 6-9 months now, maybe instead of saying defund police, maybe it should have been, let's figure out, you know, how to reform police. Let's figure out how to police without stereotyping, without profiling. Let's try to police to make people feel secure next to a policeman. It's about training. It's about changing the way that police even look. I mean, police walking around with body armor, huge hats, and machine guns scares the hell out of everybody. And it's their training. They have to train better. They have to get into the community more. They have to be able to have the community trust them. And it can be done. It absolutely can be done. It takes an enormous effort, enormous funding. Police are trained less than barbers in New York. That's crazy.
Right.
Okay, we've said that a million times. Police get 600 hours of training. Barbers get 1,000. Why can't we train police to be effective police officers and at the same time train them to recognize their biases, train them to recognize that people feel that they're not being treated fairly, and train them in a new way? I don't know what the new way is, but there are experts out there who can do it.
That can
make those significant changes if everybody. And by the way, in any organization, whether it's a law firm, it's a Bradshaw Live, it's anything, okay? The store, where you may work. If an organization from the top down decides we are going to change and makes an effort to do it by concentrating for the next 90 days, for the next 180 days, for the next year, every day we're going to meet and we're going to discuss and we're going to implement and we're going to put in operations that are going to change very slowly, because nothing happens overnight, very slowly how we do things. Whatever it is, police, provide legal services, do a show, whatever it is, supermarket, doesn't matter. That's what effective management is. And if you put your mind and your money and get experts to figure out how to do it, it's really reform police. And I don't think anyone can be mad about reform police.
Absolutely not.
But when you say defund police, scared the hell out of everybody. And that is why the election was as close as it was. Absolutely, because that's what they did. That's what the Republicans did.
And Brad, I do like that you said that people shouldn't really just, when you hear Latinos, like just throw all of them in one group, because my friends, I have a lot of friends that are either Dominican, Puerto Rican, and actually one of my Puerto Rican friends, he had posted a picture saying it was the Florida poll, and it was showing the Cuban count was 23% for Biden and 71% for Trump, and Puerto Rican count was 66% for Biden and 23% for Trump. So like when you say that, it's not like the whole Latino community.
Yeah.
I like that you had said that, because you have to understand that there are different countries and within that Latino community.
And by the way, it's different cultures. I mean, Vanessa will be the first one to tell you. Okay, it's different.
Even there's a lot more conservative Catholics as well. Like there's people. It's all so different. So even me being from the Caribbean, like the things that I'm concerned about. Like Cuba's in the Caribbean too, and like I didn't want to name any names, but yes, there's a lot of Cubans out there that have been voting Trump, and we can't just toss. Latino is huge, like we were saying, South America, Central America, like the Caribbean. It's just so many different opinions because it's so many different cultures, and then here migrated into the U.S. We're in different places, still experiencing different cultures, different lifestyles, and different upbringings for ourselves as Latinos, different concerns. Latinos closer to the borders have different experiences than someone like myself in New Jersey, East. Like, it makes a huge difference. And when we're just tossed into a huge pool, it gets really sticky.
It gets dirty and messy.
You're right. You're right. And I think that was also probably the defund police and painting Biden as socialist, and what you and Vanessa have just talked about, where you lump every Latino as the same and you assume that they're going to vote Democrat because Trump is saying Mexicans are rapists, and but a Cuban doesn't look at himself or herself as a Mexican.
No.
Right? Cuban says, I never heard Trump say Cubans are rapists. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's not me. All right. So, to lump everybody together, it was a huge mistake.
And it makes sense because most of them are in Florida.
That's right.
So
that's right. And by the way, had the Latino vote And you would have thought the Latino vote, because they're right there on the border with Mexico.
I would have thought it too,
Right.
you know, but
The Latino vote in Texas cost Biden Texas. The Democrats could win Texas if they had the Latino vote. And they took it for granted.
Yeah.
They took it for granted.
Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, airspace is now restricted over Joe Biden's house because they believe he is now going to be the president of the United States.
Hey.
Donald Trump is absolutely distressed, and he's crying tears in the White House.
Of course.
But he is not going to give up so fast. But what I will say this, okay, I am very, very, very happy and proud of America in this one respect, because I was extraordinarily concerned that everybody was going to say voter fraud, voter fraud, voter fraud. But I would say, for the most part, a huge majority of Americans believe that this election was done fairly, even though Donald Trump is screaming otherwise.
It definitely was. It definitely was. There was like not any kind of news that we heard from anybody, like how Trump was like with the last election where he was talking about Hillary, you know, and all them cheating and stuff, like, and we found out like Florida, there was just like, there was no type of mess that was happening except for what was coming out of Trump's mouth.
Yeah, because every elected official statewide who's in charge of conducting each individual state has made it very, very clear. The governors, the secretaries of state have made it very clear and transparent that it is a very, very fair election. And for that, America should be proud.
There you go. I'm proud. I am. Finally, something good in 2020.
Yeah.
Shit. Excuse me. Damn. It's just like, God.
Yeah,
I was like, you know, right. You know, like.
It's almost like he had the whole year flashback, and he's like, I think I'm going to have a win.
Because legit, the first thing that came to my mind before the election, like right before the election, I was like, damn, this is the season finale of 2020, and I don't know if I'm ready for it. Because this whole show has been ish show. It's horrible.
The whole series, right? It's like a show on Netflix that keeps you on the edge of your.
And you know what? It's like one of those shows. It's like I think it's like one of those shows. It's like you're just watching like a total train wreck of a show, but you're like, I can't keep my eyes off this train wreck, and I got to come back and look at it again, right?
Yes,
that's almost like, you know what I thought of the other day, Brad? I forgot to mention it to you. I watched that Adam Sandler Uncut movie. That's how 2020 made me feel. You kept watching it and hoping the movie was gonna get better, and it was.
Oh, is that the one when he's the jeweler? That's the one when he's the jeweler. Yeah,
yes.
Uncut Gems. Yeah, that was horrible. It was like peeling your skin off.
That was horrible.
And by the way, you know,
2020.
And by the way, spoiler alert: the end was horrible. It made me feel terrible. The end of that movie was terrible. It's just like I was tortured for 2 hours, and then to watch that end.
I was watching it on the way back from Houston, and that's what I had to tell you.
Yeah, it was awful, and it could have been so good too.
Because I love Adam.
I do too. But he's got to stay in his lane, just like everybody else. You know, stay in your lane and do some stupid movies and make us laugh, right?
Exactly.
All right, it's FriYay, by the way. We're getting right into FriYay. By the way, a couple of kayakers, they are lucky to be alive after a humpback whale very nearly swallowed them, and it was caught on video. Julie McSorley and Liz Cotrio were kayaking and whale watching Monday off of California's Avila Beach in San Luis Obispo. When out of nowhere, the massive whale came up out of the surface to gobble a big pool of fish, and they were right there. At first, it appeared the whale swallowed the women, but their kayak only capsized and they were underwater. Cottrell said, it was the weirdest thought. I'm thinking, I'm dead. I thought I was going to land. The whale was going to land on top of me. Next thing I know, I'm underwater. You know,
oh my gosh.
Usually I'm scared of sharks. I'm not thinking whales are going to come and kill me.
Right. And obviously that was on,
that was too close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Uncle Brad stays by the pool. You know, the pool is a lot safer, right?
See, there are certain parts of this world that humans just should not be, you know, messing with. Like,
you just leave it to the animals. Like that's their home.
Yeah, exactly.
Let do their thing.
Right. It's like, you know,
Right.
You wouldn't be out in the water where the whales and sharks are, and you wouldn't be walking around the savannah to get eaten by a lion either, right?
There you go. There you go. Stay where you belong.
There's just some things you don't do.
You know what? You know, Jill just whispered in my ear. She goes,
What?
Here's a good one. Every time you enter the water, you are entering a food chain. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, and I'm not trying to be a part of that chain.
By the way, talking about that, I texted Jill yesterday. This is not on my card, so I apologize, Jill. But this is I really found this ironic too. You know the war on drugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know who won the war on drugs?
Who?
Drugs. It was just legalized all over.
There you go.
You know,
Yeah.
and I mean, it ended up 2020. Just ended up the drugs winning the war on drugs. I mean, that's how.
Was that That was Oregon, right?
Oregon, right? Mushrooms and ecstasy is legal. It's now,
What? Wasn't heroin? Didn't they legalize heroin?
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's gonna be a lot of trips to Oregon.
Yeah, you're like, that war on drugs. You know who won it? Drugs.
Drugs. That is so true. That is
In
so
2020.
True.
In 2020. I mean, that's how 2020 ends. I mean, that's how bizarre 2020 is, right?
Drugs win.
Drugs win.
We know Pablo didn't win it, but 2020
Right.
did.
Drugs wins the war on drugs. Drugs won. World nothing.
Damn.
Oh, this is good because I'm a tequila drinker. I didn't know this. You know I drink tequila,
Read
right?
it to me, Brad.
Yes.
You know I drink tequila, right? Elon Musk.
Yes.
Okay, you know who he is, the owner of Tesla, billionaire owner
Yes.
of Tesla. He has gotten people to buy flamethrowers, short shorts, surfboards, and now he's throwing in tequila. Musk's electric automaker Tesla launched its own line of Tesla tequila yesterday.
The tequila,
Wow.
I felt it coming.
Yeah, making good on the CEO's promise for the company to start selling
looks
its
nice.
own brand of alcohol. It retails $250 a bottle. It comes in lightning shape. You want to buy me a Christmas gift?
This would be it.
This would be it.
Happy yo-yo.
I hope it's good.
Yeah, we know
$250. If everybody on the
1942 is
crew
really
wants to, hint. If everybody on the crew wants to chip in and buy Uncle Brad a Christmas gift, I would like
This
that.
is-
I'd like to taste this.
good. We got you. We
All
got you.
right. It retails for
So
$250 on Tesla's website. It comes in a lightning-shaped bottle and is produced by Nosotros Tequila out of Southern California. Wow.
It looks like a cologne bottle.
That looks like a cool bottle of tequila. Can we see that bottle again?
He
That is
actually
really
did
nice.
a really good job with that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Tesla and tequila, but then when it was like Tesla tequila, like
That looks
branding
really nice.
wise, they killed this.
That
They
looks-
did great with
Yeah.
it.
That looks like
I
a
would wanna
winner.
Buy that.
I want that. That looks like a
Yeah.
winner.
It's better. It's better than those little red shorts that they came out with, though. Like
Yeah.
they came out with some like little red shorts for like $60-something, like $70. I was like, what?
Yeah, and you know what?
I'm liking
That's better than the first version of that car.
Minimum
That bottle.
should come with the car.
That's better than
There
the.
you go.
By the way,
I'll try
the cost of the shorts, number 7, each pair priced at $69.42.
Yeah.
Because the joke is $69 refers. This is a hump day, but $69 refers to what? Ha ha ha! The sex position, and $4.20, 42 cents
Wow.
refers to April 20th.
Is that why they did
Cannabis
that?
Day, yes. That's why they sell the shorts for $69
Oh my gosh.
and $4, 69.420. That's exactly how it's put on their website. You don't think Elon Musk walks around in those shorts, smokes weed, and drinks his tequila?
Nah.
You think he does?
And then gets in his Tesla.
And then gets in his Tesla? Jill says he absolutely
But
does
that-
walk around in his shorts, drinks his tequila, gets in his Tesla, and smokes weed. Jill's whispering in my ear, goes, absolutely does it. He's a nut.
I agree.
All right, we got to get to some immigration questions. Before we do, guys, we have a Braducation, and our Braducation today is what type of questions are asked in an immigration interview? Let's watch.
Questions they may ask you generally on an interview, no matter what type of case you're going on, are going to involve whether or not you are admissible to the United States. Many of the avenues of questioning revolve around misrepresentation, meaning that have you ever lied to the government in prior applications or this application? They're going to ask you questions about that. They're going to ask you questions if you've ever been arrested before, and they're going to want to know about those arrests if they in fact had happened, whether your arrest happened in the United States or in another country. They may ask you questions about your medical examination, if there's some inadmissible medical condition or drug abuse issue involved in your medical, but they are going to ask you questions certainly about whether or not you are otherwise admissible.
All right, Vanessa, Yo-Yo. You know what time it is?
Yep.
You know what the time is?
Yes.
What time is
Do
it?
you want me to
Got
say
some
it?
calls there.
No, it's
It's
5:28.
it's time for-
No, it's
Oh.
5:28 Eastern Standard Time. No, it's time for me to answer immigration
answer
questions. Come on, you know what time it is.
That was a trick question.
That was a trick question. All right, let's go to Nate in Los Angeles. Nate, how are you?
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Good. How are you?
Great. I'm Nati. I'm calling from good old LA. I actually found out about this Yoni, his Instagram, and I've been learning a lot, clearly. In the past couple of things that you just said, I had to write a couple of notes down while I'm getting ready for my question. All right, so basically for me, the immigration process is pretty stressful, and it's long, it's draining, you know what I'm saying? But one of my questions was, my partner currently lives in D.C., and she has a student visa, so we were planning on getting married.
Great.
So congratulations to us.
Congratulations. Or as they say, Mazel Tov.
Thank you, Zebek.
Da, da, da. All right. So what's the question? What's the question?
So basically, I wanted to know: do we have to live in the same state because
Yes.
she goes to school?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you why. And you're new to the show, and I guess you're born American, so you've never had to go through. It sounds like
No,
you're not born American.
Yeah, I moved here when I was 11. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're as American. All right. For all intents and purposes, born American. You came here at 11.
Okay.
All right. So where's your fiance from?
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. Okay, great. So the deal is with immigration and marriages is this. Okay. Their immigration is very concerned when somebody gets married. They're very concerned that people just got married just to get a green card. And they only want people, makes sense, to get a green card if you got married for love. So they've come up with a very, very simple formula to determine whether you're in love or not. Okay? It doesn't make sense in real life, but this is their formula. Do you live together? Do you have an economic relationship? If you live together in the same home and you have an economic relationship, you're in love. If you are anything outside of that, perhaps this is a marriage for something other than love. So living together means living in the same apartment, the same home, every day. Not, I live there occasionally and I go to school or work in some other state. It's every night at the end of the night, husband and wife sharing a bed, sharing a room, living together. Number one. Number two, having a financial relationship. So that's what a marriage is. It's also a financial relationship. And the financial relationship is you have a bank account. Money she earns, the money you earn goes into this bank account. And from that bank account, you pay all your bills. You commingle your funds. Guess what? You're in a loving relationship according to the U.S. government.
So basically somebody would have to move. Like
Somebody
I
would have to move. Correct.
And I mean, based off of COVID, I guess it would make even more sense, right? Because she's taking online classes. She probably has to.
So let her move. Let her move to LA. She takes online anyway. and you want to know what? I'll be honest with you. It's not the end of the world to switch schools either. If you're getting married for love, what's the big deal?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I just wanted to know because I mean, just up and moving is still a process when
It is.
You know, like she's at the school that she wants to be in, and I don't know how things are going to change with COVID, so I'm not really sure. You know, okay, that's great. So definitely making sure that that economical
right. It's an economic relationship, and you live together, and you're good to go.
Okay.
All right. Good luck.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay,
all right. Thanks, Jeff.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's go to George in Columbus, Georgia. George.
Hey, how are you all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. This is George from Columbus, Georgia.
Yes.
Hey, I had my citizenship interview last week.
Great.
Yes, and I was approved, and my oath ceremony is in 2 weeks. And unfortunately, last night I just got a traffic ticket.
Okay, what were you doing?
Yes, it was a red light, and I was not crossing, but I was turning right. But the officer said I should have stopped completely. I shouldn't have yielded. I should have stopped completely before turning the right on the left.
George.
Yes, before turning the right
George.
at the stoplight.
George.
Yes.
Sounds like you're an awful driver, but being a bad driver doesn't make you a bad citizen, doesn't make you immoral, doesn't mean you have bad moral character. You're probably a good driver. I'm making a joke. You know, people.
I know. Thank you.
People get a ticket and it's fine. Don't worry. All right. When you go for your oath ceremony, they're going to say, just bring it. Say, I got a moving violation. Here it is.
Yes. So I should the forms they give me for my oath ceremony. Should I take that? I got a traffic ticket.
You got a traffic ticket. Yeah, just bring it with you. It's fine.
So won't it delay my naturalization?
You're going to be a citizen. I promise you.
Oh, okay. Because honestly, I've already paid the fine today.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yes.
You'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, just why I was a little bit scared that maybe.
Don't lose 1 second of sleep.
Okay.
I suggest go buy Tesla tequila this weekend and celebrate.
Thank you so much.
All right, goodbye.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Christopher in Longview, Washington. Christopher.
Hi, am I on?
You are.
I'm good. I got some questions about so let me just tell you the general basics, and you let me know. Feel free to let me know if you need more specifics to give me a more concise answer. But my wife is Vietnamese. She's lived in Vietnam her whole life. She's never left. I've lived in the United States my whole life. Starting in 2014, I started going to Vietnam while I was taking online classes,
Right.
And I met my wife there. I was volunteering at a cafe that was like sort of a cafe English teaching hybrid.
Right.
So
where in Vietnam? I was just there a year ago.
Oh, okay. I was in Da Nang.
In Da Nang. Okay, yep. I was there.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So I've visited her like 6 times throughout the years. So since 2014 all the way to 2018, I was visiting.
Why you're not together? What happened?
So when I met my wife, I wasn't really planning on getting married.
Right.
And I didn't really know anything about the immigration process. It was a completely foreign concept to me. In fact, when me and her decided to get married, I was actually naive enough to believe that I could just get her married and bring her over here, and what would be the issue? What could possibly go wrong?
I hear you are calling my show.
And here I am calling your show, and I'm just completely distraught.
What went wrong? What happened?
Well, I was always under the assumption I would always be able to go to travel Vietnam and visit my wife, and now we got these lockdowns, and so as it happens, I've actually been filing the process to get her a green card, and we've been going through the most.
Did you file an I-130 visa petition?
Yeah, I used it. I went through an immigration attorney.
Okay,
he did all the paperwork,
right?
And I've been learning as I go. And we've come to the point where she just had her interview, right? And it turns out like when my immigration attorney filed the paperwork, he didn't really send a lot of supporting evidence to buff up our claims, and so when she had her interview, they just sent her away with an RFE, request for evidence.
And the question is that they don't believe you're in a bona fide marriage?
Well, I mean, I'm led to believe that was their assumption, but they didn't really have much to make any decision, yes or no. They just said, come back with more evidence. we've got a second interview that's scheduled to take place in 10 days from now.
Okay.
And my real concern is, like my case might be such an anomaly because of the time.
It's not. The embassy questions a lot of people's marriages, and if you're going to, are they going to want a video conference with you? Is that what they're asking you to do?
I don't know. I hope so, because I would really much like something like that. It would make me feel more confident. But one of my main concerns is just the lack, or like whether or not there's a lack of evidence to support the fact that my wife.
Do you send her money for support?
So I've been sending her money just through Western Union since.
So, all right. So you need. All right. So that's number one. You need to get to Western Union now and get evidence that you've been sending her money all these years. Whatever.
So I fought tooth and nail with Western Union's so-called customer support.
I know. Yeah.
Oh my God! It was absolutely horrendous. But I ended up getting it.
Okay.
I got the full report. I did everything. Most of it.
This is what you're gonna need. Okay. Send proof that you send her money. Okay, because they always think it's a business marriage, that the person in another country is sending the American money to pay them to get a green card. The American's sending somebody money the opposite way to another country. That would be proof that it's not a business marriage. The American is sending money to somebody to support their spouse. The other thing is all of your communications, emails, texts, figure out how to print it out.
I have it all.
Let it go in the book. We text each other every day. Here's a log of all our calls. Here's all our emails. And then of course, all your pictures together through the years. Those are the three things you're going to need.
So before we end the call, I just want to get more specific. So as far as the messages, I had instructed my wife to go and I downloaded the transcript for the entire 6.5 years of our conversations, but it was so much. I mean, we message each other every single day of our lives, and then there's 6.5 years of it. I was like, well, maybe that's just a little too much. So I told her, just for every page, for every month, create a page of record of that, and then skip to another month. And I was kind of like slim it down, but also show a consistent correspondence without any. So we have that, and we have the Western Union transactions, and then
you have pictures of when you're together. I think that's sufficient.
Yeah, my wife would always insist on taking a photograph, and it was always so irritating to me. But now I'm so thankful.
But now you're happy, right?
And then and then the last thing, I have a life insurance policy on me.
And she's send it.
Now, my final question is: do you think that's gonna be enough?
Yes.
Is there anything else?
I think that's enough based on what you told me.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way I can see my wife again. I haven't seen her in 2 years because I spent all of 2018 trying to meet the minimum income requirement, working on a fish processing vessel in Alaska, and then in 2019,
it's very tough, and that's why they're questioning the validity of this marriage, because you guys haven't seen each other for 2 years.
Yeah, I know.
She has to be able to explain what you're doing. You know, you're working on a boat as a fisherman to try to just get her here.
Yeah, and it was now the coronavirus and the lockdowns, and I can't even go see my wife in Vietnam anymore. It's the most painful experience I've ever had as a human being.
So I think that's enough. I would, if you can, try to speak to the consulate ahead of time and say, I'm the husband. I want to speak to the officer or the supervising officer. Try to call them.
How do I do that?
You Google the telephone number for the U.S. consulate in Vietnam. You're an American citizen. Try to call them. Try to get them on the phone. Say, I want to speak to the consul officer who interviewed my wife or that person's supervisor. And by the way, you think you're frustrated now, wait till you try to get somebody on the phone. But if you're persistent, try to get someone on the phone. And say, hey, this is for love, man. I'm working on a freaking boat for 2 years to get my wife here. I've sent her with everything. Tell her exactly what you just said to me. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Dahlia in West Palm Beach, Florida. Dahlia.
Give me one second. Hello?
How are you?
Yeah, hi. I just got I just got my green card, and my son is here visiting. He's 16. We filed the I-130 for him when he was in Jamaica.
Who's we?
And it's me and my husband. My husband.
Your husband did. Okay, your husband's a citizen?
Yes.
Okay, and when did your son get here?
3 months ago.
Okay, put in an adjustment for him right now.
Yes, but my question is, my husband wasn't making enough we had to get a second affidavit of support for me. But I'm wondering, I have 2 years tax return.
If you and your husband combined earn enough, you should be okay. Because it's going to be you and your husband's income combined. You're a resident for the last 2 years, so you can combine.
No. I just got my green card like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Whatever income you earn legally, working legally, you can combine that with your husband.
And that should be enough to...
I don't know what you earn, but let's,
we do. Together we earn enough. But I'm just wondering because I only have 2 years tax return.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right?
All right, thank you.
All right, good luck. Mian in Albany. Mian.
Hello, Brad. How are you? I'm good. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk with you.
My question is, I'm 67 years old, U.S. citizen. My wife passed away 2 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I got married in Pakistan with one of my family's member lady. She's a divorced lady, and she's 41. So I got married in August 22nd. I went back home and then I come back here. I want to petition her, but the thing is, I don't make much. I have a pension coming, which is little. It's not much.
File an I-130 visa petition.
Yeah.
And in the end, you'll need an affidavit of support from somebody else.
Yeah, I have my friend. I live with him.
Then that's fine.
And he's a doctor.
He's a doctor. He makes money then. So file the I-130 visa petition. Don't worry about what you earn now. You need it at the end of the case, not now.
No, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good luck. All right, let's go to Rose in Huntington Beach, California. Rose.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. My question is, my mother's been a TPS recipient from El Salvador since about 2004, and
Rose,
she's on...
go back. You talk way too fast for me. Start again.
She's been in
Start again. I didn't hear a word you said. You're way too fast. I can't. I'm trying to concentrate.
My mother?
Your mother. Okay.
She's been a TPS recipient from El Salvador.
TPS. Got it. Okay.
From El Salvador since 2004. And she's owned a house for about 16 years now, in which she's never reported rental income. She rents every section of the house, and she did it even before I was born. So, my question is, one of the tenants recently decided that they were going to, just be spiteful and report her to the IRS, and then my mother got angry and placed a harassment civil restraining order on that person, and that person just got really angry. That person wants to place one on my mother now, and I was wondering, how does that affect her?
Well, number one, if she's not paying taxes, she should. Okay, so the first thing is, after you get off the phone with me, go to an accountant and fix her taxes. You can always file late tax returns. Number two, getting a restraining order is not anything criminally affect her. So unless she's arrested for assault or threatening or something like that, having a restraining order has nothing to do with immigration in the sense that it's not a crime, so it can't make her deportable because of that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I got it. I'll help you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Stop fighting with your tenants, though. That would be a good thing, too. Awal in Newark, New Jersey. Awal.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. The question is, my wife interviewed last year in Accra, Ghana, and they took her passport, and they told me that they're gonna issue the visa, but they only called back in January and said that we should come back for the passport. I haven't asked that. They asked us to fill the extreme vetting form, so which we did. But,
so you got interviewed when?
the access to file the extreme vetting form. We did like.
They asked you to file what form? What form?
The extreme vetting form, the form for them to do additional background check, listing her siblings and everything.
Okay, so
where
when
she
was
put
this?
the places that she traveled to and everything.
When was this?
This was last year, somewhere December.
Okay, and you're a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am.
All right, so have you called the embassy to say, hey, what's going on?
I've called them, my senator have they, my congressman have sent them email, and after they...
Forget your senator, they're not helping you. Did you call the embassy?
I've called them. Actually, my wife delivered in February, so we went there to get citizenship for the baby, which they gave them. So the person that gave the citizenship to us told us that they should have completed the case now. So he is not the one who interviewed us, so because of that, he can't do anything.
All right, so you're just kind of stuck in bureaucratic hell. So,
yeah, so it's administrative process in that.
So when you get stuck in bureaucratic hell, there's only one person to call to get you out of that. Me. We'll call the embassy for you. Hold on. All right. Let's go to Pearl in Brooklyn. Pearl.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm fine. I have two questions for you. I filed for my citizenship in March. I was going to do my fingerprint March 24th, and I haven't heard from USCIS from ever since. Are they still issuing biometric appointments?
Well, they're going to use your old biometrics. So if they have your fingerprints from before, they're not going to call you in for a new one. And I see you live in Brooklyn, or I believe you live in Brooklyn. So New York is having interviews right now. So if you filed in March, you should expect an interview the following March. It's about 12 months behind.
Okay, thank you. Another question.
Yes.
Another question is, my son was caught shoplifting, but he wasn't arrested. And he went to court and he paid a fine. Will that affect his citizenship next year?
Yes, because even though he didn't go to jail, it's still a criminal offense if he paid a fine. So you have to have good moral character. It could make him even deportable. I don't know what he pled guilty to, so he should come see me with his disposition.
Okay,
right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. What do we got here? That's it. Yo, Vanessa.
We here.
I looked on my sheet. I'm like, what's next? It says yo, and Vanessa. So I yell, yo, and Vanessa.
Yeah. Pop-Up.
Time to check in.
Check in. Social media check in. Right. All right, what do we got?
All right, first one comes from Ahmed Al-Hakim on YouTube asking, I've been waiting for NOA2 approval for more than 7 months. What should I do?
A notice of approval for more than 7 months. What was it that they're filing for? What are they waiting on an approval for?
So it says notice of approval 2. Is there an NOA2?
No. Well, you're waiting on an approval. You and hundreds and millions of other people. I don't know what you're waiting on an approval for, so we need more information, unfortunately.
Got you.
Okay, this next one comes from Derek Woody on YouTube. When an American person gets married to an immigrant but is duped and played for citizenship, who would protect me as an American?
Yourself. All right, so unfortunately, you feel duped. You're not the first person to be duped, whether you're duped in a business deal, whether you're duped because you feel somebody said they loved you when they didn't, and you married them believing they loved you, and you feel now they didn't love you and they just wanted a green card. People get duped all the time in not just immigration, but in all different things. What are you going to do? You got duped. You know, the only thing you can't change the past. You can't. So they got their green card. The government's not going to take it away from them now. So if you're going to, my only advice is if you're going to dwell on it, you're just going to make yourself angrier. The only thing you can do is move on. Say, you know what? It was an experience. I've learned from it. I won't get duped a second time. Get divorced and fall in love. And hopefully the next time you fall in love, it's with a better person.
All right. Third one comes from Nurse HDS or HDZ. Nurse HDZ on YouTube, asking, can I travel to Hawaii with DACA, or is it not recommended?
You can go to Hawaii.
Okay.
Efiani Mabake on YouTube. When can one apply for an I-751 waiver after a divorce? Does one need to wait for the 3 months before green card expiration or file anytime after they get divorce certificates?
No, you have to wait 3 months before the expiration of your 2-year green card, and then you file with the divorce certificate.
Okay, Greta Smart on YouTube asked, today was supposed to be my interview day, but I sent in a withdrawal letter because my husband has been so abusive, both physically, emotionally, and verbally. Am I on the right track?
Is this person a U.S. citizen, or this person getting the green card?
So they were supposed to go on the interview day, but they sent in the withdrawal letter. So I believe
when you say you're on the right, if you are the American citizen and you feel you're being abused, being on the right track, withdrawing a case, that's what you have the prerogative to do that. Whether that's the right track or wrong track, I have no idea. But as the American citizen, you have the right to withdraw the case up until the time the person gets the green card. After that, it's like the other guy, duped. Okay?
Okay.
But if you are the person getting the green card, no, I would not have withdrawn. I would have gone without your spouse. I would have showed up and said, my spouse isn't here because I'm an abused spouse. Here's the proof. Keep my case open. I'm going to file a VAWA.
Okay.
Okay, this one, a little lengthy, but Mirama European Beauty on YouTube. My husband and I filed for an I-75 and went to an interview in February without proof. We were told to send proof and we didn't, and it's past due. On May 2nd, I got a restraining order against him, then filed for divorce on May 18th, both still pending. They have 2 children. I believe my marriage is fraud because when he came to the US, he was mentally and physically abusive. He cheated and threatened her. He admitted that he only cared for the green card and is now living with another woman and potentially marrying her to get potentially marrying her after the divorce.
Okay, I understand all of that, but you lived together. You had 2 children together. So no one's going to believe that it was a fraud. There's no fraud when you have children in a marriage. What you have is a marriage that presumably is for love, and it broke down, unfortunately.
Then she also goes on to say, what are the chances of him being able to stay or get deported after the divorce? I did notify.
He will, after he is divorced, he will get to be able to stay because he will be able to prove it was a real marriage for 2 reasons. 1, you have 2 children together, and 2, you took out a restraining order against him. So obviously, you were living together. That's all he needs to prove.
Yeah. She notified USCIS.
You can notify USCIS all you want. Unfortunately, your husband's going to get a green card. It's a fact.
Okay. GHC Movers and Packer on YouTube asks, hello, I was deported from the U.S. for drug charges. I would like to be able to visit the U.S. for business purposes. What waiver do I have to file? Will I have to get a green card?
Now he wants to come for business purposes now that they legalize drugs all over the place, right? I'm making a joke. I'm making a joke. He would need a visitor's visa and a waiver, but depending on when he got deported and what he's doing now and what his business dealings are, will determine whether he gets the visa now.
Shakara Taylor on YouTube. My daughter, who was born in the U.S., is receiving government benefits, which as WIC and food stamps. However, because she's just a baby, it's sent in my name. Will it affect my filing once I submit my documents for my green card?
As long as it's for a baby, no. It will not affect you.
Okay, Hetty Betty on YouTube asks, I had my visa IR1 refused because of Section 212A5. My case returned to USCIS for an additional review. What does this mean?
It means they're going to withdraw. They're going to withdraw the approval of your I-130. We got to figure out why it was denied. Yeah. All right, last one.
And then this is our last one. Yep. Rosalinda on YouTube. My husband is approved for the I-130 and we are starting the NVC process. I did the background check and he had an arrest in 2010 for expired license. Will that affect the case?
No, for an expired license, it should not affect it, unless there was something more to it than that.
Hey, Brad.
Yes.
Can we do one more?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Ayiwu-Wawu-We? Tolu-Walaste.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like this is one that's been asking for a couple of days.
Okay.
So now we're asking. I submitted more evidence on the I-751. I filed for divorce a week after my 3 years of marriage. Can I file for citizenship while my I-751 is still with the USCIS?
No, you have to have a green card for 5 years. It doesn't sound like you've had a green card for 5 years.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Comments of the day. Comments of the day.
All right, y'all. First comment of the day comes from the famous Jessica Leamy saying, every evening I'm on the phone with my mom, Dion Reed, and every time I get the notification for the show, I'm like, bye, mommy. Brad is on.
Wow.
You know what time
I
it
know
is.
where I am in the pecking order. That makes me feel good, right? Bye, Mom.
Listen.
Go to Uncle Brad now.
The hierarchy.
I'm in the hierarchy there, right?
I like that.
Okay, our next one comes from Abiodun Jimo. When you encountered any bottleneck in your immigration case, call on Brad to solve it with his expertise, experience, skills, and knowledge. Follow his answer without a doubt.
Very smart
Agreed.
man. Very, very smart man. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, our third comment of the day comes from Joan Ambitious Powell saying, thank you guys for the hard work. I look forward to listening to you after a hard day's work. You helped me to end my day on a high note.
Oh, very nice. Thank you.
Like
Thank you.
these comments of the day today.
They're very good comments of the day. Keep them up, squad. Keep them up.
Yeah.
And our last one comes from My Dukes. Brad Show Live is my drug. It puts me on an immigration high. Brad and his team is the best thing since sliced bread.
Wow.
I hear ya.
These are the best comments of 2020. I haven't
Immigration high.
It's amazing. As soon as Joe Biden and the Democrats win, the comments go way up. Way up. Everybody was so depressed before they couldn't even leave a good comment. These are the best comments I've heard.
Everyone just feels like they
I've
can
ever
let it
heard.
out now.
Yeah, exactly.
Let it out.
Right. This is a perfect way to end the week.
Yeah, that's
I will
right.
say that.
All right. So everybody have a great weekend. Yo-Yo and Vanessa, I assume that sometime over this weekend, let's keep our fingers crossed, Pennsylvania's going to be called for Joe Biden. And on Monday, we could be talking about a new horizon starting in January. In the meantime, have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you Monday. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465.
Stop it! Stop it!
What are you doing?